on my 2 feet. I'm in my proper person. I am sovereign. I am man. The flesh lives. The blood flows. I challenge the jurisdiction. And if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this case.
That would be denied.
Along with the officer and sergeant who are already going to be getting sued. There's no need to add you as well.
Any threats to sue me or to take any action against me, I can't be swayed by that. So
it's not a threat. It's
Today, we've got a courtroom moment that's truly something else. A self-proclaimed sovereign citizen takes center stage. And let's just say, he's not exactly following the rulebook. This individual boldly declares that he's a living man, standing on the land with blood in his veins. Okay, we all are, but thanks for the biology refresher. But that's just the beginning. Things take a wild turn when he actually threatens to sue the judge. Yes, you heard that right. In the middle of court, no less. If you thought courtrooms were places for calm and order, this clip will challenge that idea. It's a roller coaster from start to finish, and you truly have to see it to believe it. Let us know in the comments, what's your take on this courtroom chaos? Let's get into it and watch how this bizarre hearing unfolds.
Schuster. For I am beneficiary, I am sovereign, I am man, the flesh lives, the blood flows. I am a non-U.S. citizen, American national. I am sui juris in propria persona. I reserve all rights. I do not understand the status, and so I ask you, ma'am, what is your name? What is your nationality, and what is your status?
I'm Judge Grant. I am a citizen, and I'm the judge in this court. You are here subject to appropriate jurisdiction. So you are here for an arraignment. You've been charged with a crime. Today, you will be asked to enter a plea.
Ma'am, I object because a citizen cannot sit a bench, ma'am.
So I'm going to go through the information. It looks like you have been charged with driving with a suspended license, driving without a required ignition interlock device, refusal to comply, not having proper registration on the vehicle, expired over 2 months. And then there was also a driving violation. Wheels were off the roadway. Last 2 are infractions. So,
ma'am, jurisdiction cannot be proven unless status is established. You have not established status. And so if you cannot do that, I challenge the jurisdiction. And if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this case with prejudice.
That would be denied. So I am going to, at this time, review for probable cause.
Object. Again, I challenge the jurisdiction. And jurisdiction must be proven.
It's not going to happen today.
Jurisdiction must be proven.
To hear the charges, and I will be reviewing for probable cause, and then we'll make a determination as to whether or not you will remain in custody.
So, according to him, jurisdiction hasn't been proven. Funny though, he's sitting there in handcuffs, rocking a county-issued striped jumpsuit. That kind of screams under state control, doesn't it? This guy is radiating major I've watched way too many internet videos and now I think I'm a legal genius energy. He talks like he's about to drop some earth-shattering truth. But really, it just sounds like confusion mixed with courtroom frustration. At times, he seems more emotional than logical, like he's gearing up to launch into a full government conspiracy rant while clutching a cup of artisan coffee. You almost want the judge to chime in and remind him. It's not the court's job to disprove jurisdiction. It's your job to back up your claims. If you're going to walk into court with that much confidence, at least bring some facts with you. This might not be the wildest sovereign citizen we've seen, but he's definitely not setting any records for brilliance either. What do you all think of his performance so far? Let's jump back in and see what other legal gems he's got up his sleeve.
You know, your nationality or your status. I am a non-U.S. citizen, American national by way of America Samoa. I reserve all my rights.
Is this something that we need to consider a competency evaluation for?
We may need to consider ordering ability to proceed, but it looks like you have a driver's license that recently expired.
To question my competency because I'm establishing status and asking you to prove jurisdiction is outrageous. And so again, if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this with prejudice based on the grounds that you cannot prove jurisdiction.
All right, I've reviewed this. You were driving in the city of Lake Forest Park. You were violating
Again,
laws.
I was not driving. Again, I have rights.
You were
And
behind.
my rights were violated.
Traveling.
My rights were violated. My right to travel freely unencumbered was violated. There was no emergency in which the officer needed to put on his red and blue lights. And so, again, if status cannot be set, jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this matter with prejudice.
That's denied. So you've made your record. Right now, I'm going to directly appoint counsel from the bench. Ms. McDonald.
Again, I am
you.
sui juris in propria persona. I stand on my 2 feet. I'm in my proper person. And so I reserve all my rights.
I understand that, and I've acknowledged that. I'm not dismissing your case today. I'm going to hear from Ms. McDonald as to the city's position on release.
Yes, Your Honor, I am going to be asking that the bail remain the same. It looks like it's currently set at $2,000. I do have some concern regarding his willingness and ability to reappear if he was released on his own recognizance, as well as concerned about community safety and risk of reoffending, given his temperament in the court today.
And Your Honor, Mr. Schuster would ask the court to release him on his own recognizance. These are not violent offenses. I don't see that he has any convictions for violent offenses. There was an assault from 2021 that was dismissed. He may have a view of the law that is different than the city's, but that in itself does not indicate that he won't come to court or that he would in any way try to subvert court proceedings. So we'd ask the court to release him on standard conditions.
Well, the court can consider whether or not Mr. Schuster is likely to reappear for future court hearings. What I hear from him today is that he completely objects to this court having any jurisdiction. I don't have a good faith basis that Mr. Schuster will return if I were to release him.
Let's be real. There's no way this guy's turning over a new leaf if the judge lets him walk today. You can just see it in his attitude. He looks like someone who would commit the same crimes over and over without blinking. Honestly, he gives off the kind of energy where he'd rob a bank, then complain about the service. Would I be surprised if he did a hit and run just because he doesn't believe in insurance? Not at all. He seems like the type to speed off muttering about how society doesn't apply to him. It's wild how some people truly act like the law is optional. And while I'm sure the judge isn't exactly eager to release him, it raises a real question. What do we do with folks like this? Should courts start handing out longer sentences to people who clearly show no intent to follow the law? Let me know what you think. Should there be tougher consequences for courtroom chaos like this? Alright, let's get back into the video and see what happens next.
Prior conviction for DUI. He's on a deferred prosecution at this time in Seattle Municipal Court. He's not complying with conditions if he's driving without a license and driving without a required ignition interlock device. Also, indication that Mr. Schuster will not abide the court's orders to appear on his promise. Want to look at the Seattle Municipal case and see when he's next scheduled to appear.
Like you had mentioned too, in 2021, same situation, or not same situation, a situation occurred in which they tried to charge me. They didn't have jurisdiction. It was dismissed. And again, I don't want any charges against me because I do have the deferral, which would obviously violate that deferral. And so I will make any visitations, special visitations to the court to handle any matters pertaining to Jonathan Troy Faifale, also Malietoa Schuster. I'm a man, I'm free, and I want it to stay that way.
I do see it looks like he's got at least 3 prior warrants. He has 2 priors out of Benton County, 1 out of Lower Kittitas.
Which have all
The
been cleared up.
previous warrants history.
And throughout this process of going to courts, I've had to learn a lot. And so I know it's no game to just not show and make visitations. That's not what I want to do. And again, jurisdiction does need to be proven, whether it's today or another date. And if you want to violate my rights even further by not releasing me on my own recognizance, ma'am, was it Jennifer Grant? Then, like I had mentioned earlier, you, along with the officer and sergeant, who are already going to be getting sued, I mean, there's no need to add you as well, especially when you know the law.
I do not.
I don't see another date set until February 12th of 2025 in the Seattle
In
case.
Seattle Municipal Court.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Schuster, I have to do what I believe is appropriate in this case, and that is to set bail. And any threats to sue me or to take any action against me, I can't be swayed by that. So
It's not a threat. It's just,
This can be real, but it is. This guy had actually looked a judge in the eye and threatened her, saying he'd add her to a lawsuit if she didn't release him from jail. I mean, seriously, who does he think he is? Honestly, I'm shocked the judge didn't snap back on the spot. If I were in her position, I would have taken that threat and hit him with the full weight of the law. And no, not a literal book, but you know what I mean. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying sovereign citizens deserve special treatment in court, but when you cross the line and threaten a judge, that's a whole new level, and it really should have earned him an immediate reality check. So what do you think about the judge's handling of this? She's kept things calm and professional, which is impressive, but should she have been tougher, or is she playing it exactly right? Let's get back in and see how this wild case wraps up.